晚上好，我的同学，你好吗? Hi everybody, this is Hector from Monterrey, Mexico. How are you doing? Today, as you might imagine from my introduction, I will be talking about China, and I'll be comparing it to the United States of America. They are probably my favorite countries in the world. Not that I don't respect or like other countries like Europe or Latin America, and of course Mexico. But China and the US have this specific common thing that engages me a lot: technological development over history. And I actually wrote an essay about it. I'll be reading it to you tonight. Please feel free to tell me your feedback and opinions on it. So let's get started. It's well known that China is USA's main economic competitor today. Both nations have the top GDP in the world. However, China has still a lot of poverty, specifically at the countryside. On the contrary, the United States has managed to distribute its riches along the population, allowing good living standards across the people. It's interesting that both nations share a specific thing. They are about exactly the same territorial size. This seems a little bit tricky, since by looking at the map, one might judge China to be larger. However, counting Alaska and overseas territories, the USA comes to pairs. In this regards, they both are close to 10 million square kilometers in size. In comparison, a country like, for instance, Mexico has only 1/5 of that area. Incredible, isn't it? Both nations have plentiful of resources. With an area like that, you'd surely find an impressive diversity of biomes all over the place, ranging from forests, deserts, coastal areas, and harvesting land. In China, there are huge water streams such as the Yangtze River, arid zones like the Gobi Desert, and of course snow-capped mountainous regions like Tibet. Similarly, the USA counterparts are the Mississippi River, the Arizona Desert, and the icy Rocky Mountains. When talking about technology, you can intuitively figure out that China is by far the one with the longest tradition of technological creations. With more than 4,000 years of existence, the Chinese culture has spanned over centuries, with a long list of useful inventions, being the most important ones: paper, the gunpowder and fireworks, ceramic, and even the compass. All those are inventions that are attributed to Chinese around, let's say, 3,000 years ago. Like China, the USA has an incredible history of inventions that have occurred over a shorter time span of around 200 years. This has led to creations like the automobile, the rockets, and the internet. Now, when looking at the differences regarding the political systems, the United States is considered to be a republican democracy. This is that the people directly elect representatives to promote laws and amendments to the Constitution that will help to improve the lives of its citizens. In this context, the USA's political system is pretty much bipartisan. One conservative party leaning towards free market and unregulation of the economy, the Republicans, and a second party with more liberal beliefs that bets towards government expenditure, economy regulation, and social security rights to the citizenry, the Democrats. Conversely, in what I consider to be a partisan dictatorship, China has only one party. This is called the Chinese Communist Party, and was formed after the Chinese Revolution of 1949 under Mao Zedong's control. And this system has continued to exist for more than 60 years now. It's a modern form of imperialism, but disguised with a label of People's Republic. So, in reality, people in China don't have direct power in politics, but hold your horses. On a second thought, it's not as bad as you might think. With more than 80 million Communist Party members, all of them Chinese, I wonder if the population is really not that well represented in everyday decision making. Now, obviously, the economy is a key difference. While the USA represents capitalism at its very foundations, Chinese do have a semi-communist system that has taken some capitalism practices over the last 20 years. However, people's wages and businesses are heavily controlled by the government. So in reality, I doubt that the free market be a reality in modern China today, as some claim. Other significant differences difference is, of course, language and writing systems. The USA is the emporium of the English language, a common but Romanized lingua franca, whereas China has several official languages per region spoken by millions and millions of people, like for instance Wu, Xian, Hokkien, Yue or Cantonese, Tibetan, Mongolian, so on and so forth, and a pictographic form of writing. It also has a national standardized form of the Beijing dialect, which is called Mandarin or Putonghua. So people in China don't really understand each other unless they speak the common language or Mandarin. On the contrary, even with many immigrants in the United States, almost everyone speaks English at some level or another. So that's all, folks. I hope you have enjoyed. Sorry for my mistakes. If I have some grammar issues, please let me know. And as the Chinese would say, 谢谢 Juni Wo 一个好天再见了